Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am trying to look someone. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. My bad. Trying to look someone. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. My bad. Trying to look someone. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. I am. My bad. Trying to look someone. Anybody is here yet? Give me a couple of seconds. Corey, how are you doing? I know it's I amaze me, sometimes with when I'm doing I'm not computer savvy at all. I will not lie to you. I am not computer savvy at all. So I do apologize, huh? I got to go here. I thought I had John. Let me see if I have him here. Oh, really? Oh, see, that's what I mean. I told you I'm not computer savvy. Here. Take this off. And yeah. Okay.
So, what'd you do?
That is just messing up. No. Okay. Okay, John. I finally figured it out. My bad that it took this doggone long. Now, how is everybody doing? Jason Finch, how are you doing? Before I even start, I always got to start off by doing this. Because I find that I missed, you know what? There. Okay.
Acknowledge me.
There you are, Jason Finch. Norma, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
And there's Boomer D. Thank you, Boomer, so much for coming by. And Kelly, thank you for being here. Yvonne, Spirit Stalker, how are you doing? Thank you for being here.
Acknowledge me.
You all have been acknowledged. I want to thank you all so much for coming in. Some of you, if you haven't been over on Boomer's channel, go by, check it out. I was there live with Boomer D. So make sure you go by, check him out, show him some love, and tell him that Eddie and Jen sent you if you haven't been there before. And now, without further ado, I want to bring up our good friend, my brother from another mother. Words have no, I can't even put into words. He's just my good friend, John, aka the paranormal guy, aka the storm chasing guy. So let's give John a very, very nice round of applause. Applause. Thank you so much for coming in, John. And hello, Regina, Diane G. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey,
And
what's going on, everybody?
I'm sorry I had you waiting. You know me, I am not computer literate whatsoever. And we had some serious echoing going on at first. But we've rose above the storm and now we're here, no pun intended. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
We are doing great. And first and foremost, I want to thank you too for coming in. Kelly says, hey, the storm chasing guy, subscribe to your channel. Do you have a channel that you put your ghost hunting videos on? Now,
Yeah,
yes, he
my
sure does.
you can go to John the Storm Guy on or sorry, John the Paranormal Guy on YouTube. My channel's still up. I don't really ghost hunt anymore. I also have a documentary on Amazon called The Haunting Lodge, filmed by the producer who did A&E's Ghost Hunters, Kendall Welton, along with a bunch of other documentaries he's done on paranormal.
Yeah, so as a matter of fact, John, Jen, can you put John's paranormal channel in the chat? So Jen is going to take care of that. So I want you guys to go by and check out John's paranormal channel. Make sure you check him out, but also check out his storm chasing channel, the storm chasing guy. And as a
I
matter,
shared y'all onto my page too, so my followers can come this direction.
oh great, thank you so much, John. Hey, and we got Joy. How are you doing, Joy? Thank you so much for being here. And did I miss anybody else?
Acknowledge me.
There you go, Joy. That is for you. And I'm gonna do this also. I'm gonna put John's I'm gonna go look it up here. I'm gonna put John's paranormal channel or no, John's the storm chasing guy. I'm gonna put his channel in here also.
Yeah, this. John's going storm chasing now.
Storm season's about to start ramping up here.
Yes,
Gonna be
it
a
is.
lot of live streams this year.
Yeah, you should have a real good one this year.
Yeah, I think the Texas Panhandle, Western Oklahoma, Southwestern Kansas is gonna get good this year.
I believe you.
I'm gonna try to venture outside of those areas too. I'm gonna try to hit Arkansas. I'm gonna try to hit Colorado, maybe Nebraska. We'll see.
Well, that would be cool too.
Yeah, change it up because last year I was predominantly in the state of Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico. So gonna try to see if I can, depending if my reception works.
Yeah, because you have been having some problems with that.
Yeah, especially with New Mexico, I really struggle in the mountains and stuff, like getting reception at higher elevations.
So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go back, way back to when
Roll.
John, yeah, to when he first came into YouTube, he came in as HSFL Paranormal. So
Yep.
John, take us before you go there. Spirit Stalker says, I got John for all notifications, but I've never gotten any from YouTube. We've been
Really?
Yes, we've been having problems too with YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I have certain creators like y'all that I follow. I have like other people, and some of them like I need to see if you're feeding and yeah, y'all didn't even pop up in my notifications.
Yeah, you know, this part right here, that was my fault because I don't really put the notifications on now.
Well,
Like,
I have your bell ring and it didn't notify me that you guys were live. I found you guys anyway.
I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did.
So
But we're gonna go back to when John first started. We're gonna start off with the paranormal side of John. So, John, take us to your journey of how you got started in the paranormal.
Before you quit.
so uh before you're going all the way back in 2013, I had a near-death experience. Got hit by a drunk driver back in 2013. And I almost died. And I started noticing like things over time, like things were different after that experience. Like I started noticing things like kind of like energy changes in like certain spots, and started like picking up on like people being there when they weren't. And um I didn't really get too deep into those experiences, except for like here and there, until about 2016, when I created my channel and I started actually investigating the paranormal with a couple of my friends locally and stuff like that. And I started discovering a bunch of stuff that I'm like, wow, man, I wish I had known this the whole time, because like I had uh, connections with ghosts and spirits that I had been at those locations. Like I could pick up on certain things and say like, hey, something's about to happen before it did, like equipment going off. And I just had a lot of unique times. Started doing live investigations on YouTube, uh, and started traveling a lot back in like 2017, 2018, all the way to like 2022. And just kind of evolved from there. And I took it across the United States and got to see a lot of amazing places over that time.
Wow. What made you get into the paranormal? Was it because of the accident or?
Uh, that's a good question. I was kind of always just kind of drawn to it. Um, my biggest thing is I like to help people. So like once I got into the paranormal, I wanted to be able to help people who are dealing with not understanding what was going on with them. Like I started eventually getting into like residential investigations. And my goal has always been wanting to help people both who had passed and were still alive dealing with certain situations. And um but yeah, so hey,
Um,
what's up, Raptor, Joyful?
yeah, I want to give a shout out to Raptors Adventures and West Haven, always and forever. And
What's
Pam,
Haven?
thank you, guys, for so much for being here. And I want to make sure I acknowledge you. So
Acknowledge me.
you have been
Uh,
acknowledged. And now the Raptors Adventures, I want to give them a big shout out because Lisa is going through some cancer therapy.
Oh, big prayers.
We want to send some prayers to the Raptors and make sure you go by, check out their channel, check out what they did just recently of Lisa being in the hospital. You are so in our prayers. God bless you guys. We have nothing but love for you. And we thank you so much for coming in. So,
Absolutely. My
so
prayers my prayers go out to y'all. I hope for big time healing.
yes. And so when you when you first got into paranormal, what was it like for you? I mean, I know it had to be kind of a rough start when you first started off.
like for me, uh yeah, like cuz I was sensing things like, I guess kind of like medium type stuff. Like I was kind of picking up on energies and stuff. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I was really susceptible at that time to like attachments to certain energies. I I wasn't aware, and I ignored it for a while until like I just couldn't anymore. And that came from living in North Carolina, in one of probably the most haunted places in the United States, which is Wilmington, North Carolina. Like that place is just overrun with energy. That's because of all the battles that have happened between the Revolutionary and Civil War. That place was like an energy overload.
What was
There's a couple other cities like that too, but that one like visiting all the battlefields. Like I've always been super into history, and for me, you can't have one without the other. And like I would I would almost like get taken back in time on some of those trips. Um, and it was like this. It just left me like bewildered and confused sometimes, because it was almost like at times like I would kind of pick up on things like I was back there then. And then it was like a deja vu coming back to reality kind of deal. Um, and I just started trying to learn more and more about it to like overcome the fear of what was going on. I dove into research, kind of how I do with like storms, like because when I was a little kid, thunderstorms used to scare the shit out of me. But now,
Mm-hmm.
like, uh, the more I got into it, the more I researched, and the more I got involved in forecasting and actually experiencing the raw power of Mother Nature. Same way with like the energy influxes and changes and all the stuff in the paranormal field. Like, I just fell in love with it over time. And just it gave me an outlet to go see more unique places and explore more history and get to meet new people and make films about it. And that's what I love to do and live stream my locations. So you get to experience what I'm experiencing in real time.
Right.
And that's really what I loved about the paranormal was not only the fact that I got to interact with whatever was there and whatever history had happened there, and try to uncover some information that might have not been public or whatever, and have the spirits kind of tell their story through their eyes, and what their experiences were. And yeah, it just made me at the time it made me love it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now I have kind of a different aspect of the paranormal because I've seen a lot of the bad side of the paranormal. I've seen how doing it too much can be extremely negative. And I think that's a lot of what I experienced towards the end there, was I was just too deep into it, being influenced by not only negative people, but being influenced by negative energy, and it was
Mm-hmm.
driving me to more and more insane places. You with the good, you have the bad. So you just got to kind of follow the right path. And at the last couple of years of my paranormal, I was starting to just take it down a really not good route, and I was pushing myself too hard.
Right.
And it's not saying that I'm never gonna do it again because I still have experiences to this day. I just chose a little bit of a different outlet now.
Right. What before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Colleen Channel. Thank you so much for being here. Let me acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
Also, Haunted Trucking
Acknowledge me.
Hey,
and
Colin.
Southern Belle Bigfoot is in the house.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being here. If y'all haven't seen the video we did a live with Southern Belle, make sure you go by and check it out. Really interesting, and she is so wonderful. Now, let me ask you, what is the scariest place? We already know, but we want you to tell everybody else the scariest place you've been and the least scariest place you've been.
Uh, as far as the scariest location, there was a couple of them. One that really stood out was one we themed the Demon Theater for obvious reasons. That place was just the nastiest, disgusting, vile energy that I've ever felt in my entire life. There was something utterly wrong. I mean, there's pentagrams on the floor. The location had at least four unalivings. Well, I should say homicides. It had at least 10 homicides, and I mean, four where people took their lives. And it's just there was pentagrams on the floor. There was satanic rituals done in the building. There was a lot of really other bad stuff that occurred in that town way back in the day with the with the wars that would go on with Wyatt Earp and the cowboy fights back in the day. That town's just riddled in blood. That place is just always had a negative connotation. Like that place. I don't think there's anything that can cure that place. The best thing that could happen to that place is it burns to the ground.
Wow. Randy, thank you so much for being here.
Hi,
And
Mike.
Blondie, let me give you a nice little shout out also.
That's Mike.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being here. And Michael Donaldson Sr., thank you so much for being here. Let me give you this.
That's Mike.
Acknowledge me.
Oh, wait a minute. That's
Colleen,
Mike.
Hi, Mike.
How
Tell
you
Drina
doing?
hi.
How's Drina doing? Do me a favor, Drina, Mike. As a matter of fact, everybody that's here right now, I want you
we
to do me a
call
favor. Put your
we called it
channel,
the Demon Theater, guys. That was our name for that place.
the Demon Theater. Wait a minute, is that the one that you and Gary went to?
Yeah,
Oh, that place is ugly.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
brought ugliness back with you.
yeah.
Yeah,
If I said that I was not affected by that place in a negative manner, as well as everybody that I knew who entered that building, I'd be a liar.
you are not
It
lying
was
either.
I have a, I got very close to the deepest depression I've ever been in after that location.
Yeah, you know what?
That
Right.
location actually ruined the paranormal for me for a very long time.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that led you out of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to that in a few minutes because I also want to ask you, what is the least haunted place that you've been to? And hello to Dolls Dolly.
Acknowledge me.
The least haunted place. I would
That
have
you,
to say I got a lot of calls to do like private home investigations during COVID,
mm-hmm,
and a lot of them were not haunted. A lot of them had to do with like stuff that was explainable. People would hear a creak in their attic or something along those lines. Sounded like footsteps at night, and it was usually something explainable. Um, whether it was like a draft in the attic, bringing cold air into the house. There was no equipment that really ever went off. Um, just like just a ton of like stuff that could be explained. Those were usually like the least haunted places. But I went
mm-hmm.
to a lot of like well-known haunted locations throughout the United States and stuff like that. Both locations that were well known and not so well known, just kind of urban lore, and a good majority of those weren't haunted. There was a lot of cemeteries that people claimed were haunted that I didn't get any activity and quite actually it felt mostly peaceful.
Yeah,
San Antonio Cemetery is not that place.
right. And you're right about
I'm
that.
gonna put that one there. Um,
Dennis Sarlo, hello, thank you for being here.
Acknowledge me.
And Boondock Mojo had a question for you. He wanted to know if he's ever seen thunder
Have you ever
beams
seen?
or thunderbirds, etc., in the center of a thunderstorm.
I have not.
Now, what is that?
I wonder what they consider that.
Hey, what's going on, Janet? What's up, Cody? Guy, uh, Joyful,
Yep,
Mama of the
and
Angels.
Mom of an Angel's in the house.
Yeah,
Acknowledge me.
RTI's in there. Spirit
And
Stalker, hello, Dolls Dolly.
what is that he's talking about? Thunder beams and thunderbirds.
Oh, hey, it's my one of my mods, Blondie. Hey, Blondie.
And I gave her a wrench too, and I
Awesome.
acknowledged her.
Yeah, she's a great person. She's very helpful on my channel.
That's cool. So what is Thunderbirds besides the truck or the car?
Thunder beans.
Oh, the Thunder Beans? Well, he said something about Thunderbirds too.
They're called thunder bean. Well, thunderbirds and thunder beans.
See right here, Thunderbirds, etc. Because the only Thunderbird I knew is the one I used to home.
But I have actually had a lot of experiences, especially living on the East Coast and doing the paranormal. When I did that back in the day, where thunderstorms absolutely energized that location.
Oh,
Actually, one of the worst experiences I ever had at the Demon Theater was triggered by a thunderstorm earlier that evening. Like, as soon as that storm started, we started that investigation. Shit went south in the biggest way I've ever seen in that location.
I bet it did.
Do you think it still follows you to this day? The
I
paranormal?
I have I have a lot of protection in my house that I don't touch anything paranormal in this new house. Like, none of my old equipment's in the house. It sits in the garage with a bottle of holy water. Like, I don't mess with it. Like, I've had a couple of people hit me up. They're like, "Hey, we should do another paranormal documentary." And I'm like, at this time, I'm not really interested. Now, if you want to do a storm chasing documentary, that's something more I'd be interested in doing right now. Um, for the first time, I'm like, outside of the paranormal for the last couple of years, I feel like I've been a little bit more at peace. I've had some rocky moments, but it's been not controlled by. It feels like the paranormal isn't involved in those situations. It felt like when I was towards the tail end of the paranormal, I was just I was super depressed. It was seemed like a lot of things were going in my wrong in my life due to the locations I was going, and I 100% believe those locations affected what was going on. Um, Whether it was a
Boondock,
direct attachment to me or uh, like I felt like at times like I was controlled by a dark energy. Like that's how it felt.
Boondock, could you send it to me on X or send it to me on Messenger?
Oh yeah,
Either
the
one.
the electromagnetic fields definitely increase in thunderstorms for sure.
Now, you left the paranormal, but like you said, it's only a temporary thing
Yeah,
because you also wanted to focus on storm chasing. So
yeah.
now we're gonna go from the paranormal to storm chasing.
Because they two actually connect
They,
in a
they
lot.
Yeah.
actually connect. And what made you want to be a storm chaser?
I mean, I've been obsessed with the weather since I was 8. It was part of like me being scared of thunderstorms growing up and me wanting to learn how to overcome that fear from a young age. Cause like, dude, I was like that scaredy kid at like 8 years old who was afraid of lightning and shit. Like a typical like, kids that are kind of spooked out by thunderstorms.
Right.
Um, but like my interest drew it from article I had read in 2007 when I was young about a town in Kansas, specifically a town called Greensburg. In 2007, that town got hit by a 1.5 mile wide tornado that was wider than the town itself, and 97% of the buildings got wiped out. And I read for some reason that article made me want to help people. Like I've always wanted to be able to help get the warnings out. I've wanted to learn more on the weather and learn how to forecast and maybe give at least somebody who's reading the materials that I'm putting out some advance warning that things could happen and go in a wrong direction. And that's been kind of my thing since 2022 now. I've just been uh, staging up my live streams. I built my car up for storm chasing specifically with all these cameras and all this advanced lighting and medical gear that I have in my car now. I mean, a ton of stuff that I have in my arsenal, but and be able to document it all, but also be able to live stream those experiences that I'm having, so I can also educate people on how these storms work. Because in Texas, in the tornado alley, we get storms called supercells. They're
Right.
rotating thunderstorms that are usually accompanied by tornadoes or large hail, or sometimes both. But they're rotating updrafts that change in the direction of the wind at the different elevations. And once the environment comes together with the instability and the moisture and the instability and the wind shear all start mixing at the same time, you get that hot and cool air mixing, and you get these giant thunderstorms that start rotating. And those are the storms that have always interested me the most. I've been a fascination with weather since ever. Like, and when I learned about what supercells were and how they produce these incredibly strong, violent tornadoes, and the images of the people who are affected, and it just made me want to get into it more. And I started chasing live on YouTube, and in 2022, and um, got to chase in our hometown in San Antonio, and uh, got to go up towards Oklahoma and Kansas and chase tornadoes in New Mexico and Mississippi and Alabama. Um, and just we got I've been able to fulfill that kind of dream of mine to help people along
Mhm.
those ways. Those live streams do help save lives.
You have a bunch of questions in
It
the
is a
chat.
lot of questions in here. Randy wanted to know
Do you
if you
still do?
still do banners. Marvin Angel says, John, I would go storm chasing with you. I love storms.
Heck yeah, Mom of Angel, that would be awesome. Uh,
Joyful Steph says, John, did you come over one of the biggest tornadoes
Did
or
you?
actually cover one of the biggest tornadoes in May of 2011 in Missouri, which was that was
so
the what was
that
that
would
one?
have been Joplin on May
Right.
22nd, 2020 or 2011. I was actually that was well before I started storm chasing. I remember watching that on TV growing up, and like, because at that time I would have been 2013.
Hi, cute
I would
kitty.
I would have been 18 years old, so I had just graduated high school. At that time, I was living in California. So I didn't chase that one. I didn't go on my first storm chase for 2 more years after that, which was in 2013. Um,
Christine says, so by accident, why you've been storm chasing? Have you caught? I can't remember.
Oh, by accident.
Oh,
What?
have you caught any of those cameras, paranormal activities, while you're doing your chases?
Right.
Like caught
I've seen some like weird UFO type stuff at night, like stuff that I couldn't explain that I thought was like a meteor at first, and then it moved weirdly. As far as ghosts, no, but like some weird alien stuff, like I've seen what I've interpreted is like seeing some like UFO type activity at night, especially on those long drives. But it could just be in my head from being driving for 12 hours. I don't know. Uh,
I
the
really
lo-
don't the chance anymore because the way things are going in this world nowadays, I could believe.
I can do.
yeah, I've seen a lot of weird stuff with like weird movements and lights in the sky that it can't be a coincidence.
Did, now this is why I say that storm chasing and paranormal coincide.
Oh yeah,
Years ago, me and Jen used to live when we lived in Akron, Ohio. We lived on the street. I won't say the name of the street, but right directly behind our house was a cemetery. And so every time there was a thunderstorm, we would do a spirit box session.
yeah.
And not only did we get good responses, we had things happening in our house that we could not explain.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
It
crazy.
would wrap it up. I guess it would ramp up with the
Right. It
energy.
just ramped up the energy even more.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, the storms definitely ramp up the energy in the paranormal.
Yeah,
Um,
because you would hear doors shutting upstairs, people walking up and down the stairs, and there's nobody there, especially when we're sitting in the living room and you hear somebody directly coming down the stairs right at the living room. There's
yeah,
nobody.
Mhm.
yeah. I've had weird experiences where uh we had a tornado warning at the Atchison House in Kansas in March of 2022. And we were filming a paranormal video right across, like down the road from the Sally House.
Mm.
And at the 22,000 square foot mansion in Atchison. And when we were down there, our cameras picked up on doors opening in the middle of that tornado warning that were not affected by the winds, because all those windows are closed.
Wow.
And the storm actually tripped me out because on the camera it showed the barometric pressure drop. At first I thought it was something paranormal, but it was actually it was because the sky was rotating that it created its own center of low pressure, and it triggered the EDI device.
Mhm.
Um, so that one was able to be debunked, but the doors opening was weird. Like, and we had that night, the whole rest of that night was just amplified with paranormal activity. Like the REM pod ran till it died that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Colleen says, John, it is UFO. If you see lightning, you see a big bright ass or a big bright ass or, or whatever it is.
if I see a big bright ass, that's definitely something paranormal.
Yeah, it's either something paranormal or somebody
If
on.
somebody else sees a big bright ass near me while I'm storm chasing, it's probably because I'm mooning them as they're driving by.
Yeah, somebody gonna be hitting that ass. Kelly says, with as much sky watching you do, it makes sense that you would spot something.
Yeah, because like there's times you know me, like there's times that I'm on the road for like 3 days straight, and like you see all sorts of weird stuff you can't explain. Actually, one of this last chase in Oklahoma a couple weeks or about a week ago,
Mhm.
um, ended at one of one of our first stops on that chase to take photos, ended me at a cemetery that I had investigated back in 2021,
Right.
which
Oh,
was like, I was like, wait, I've been here before.
it drew you there.
Mhm. It
Yeah,
drew you
it almost like connected me there.
because it's deja vu. You've seen it
Yeah.
in a dream, and then you actually go there, but the events
I'm
that
like,
led to
why does this
me
gate look
there.
so familiar? And I flipped through my old memories of 2021. I'm like, I knew
Yes,
I recognized this place.
yes. Because you've been there through dream. You've
Yeah,
been there.
because we had set up a flashlight on one of the tombstones and it turned on command.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you would have had your spirit box right there and then it would
Oh
have said,
man.
"What's up, John?" Yes.
Yeah. There's certain places that will always remember me, like because I've been there so many times.
Yeah, either say that or what you got on my 40, homie.
Oh man.
Mama ain't.
One of those locations was the Omen House in Los Angeles. That place knew me like a T. I'd walk in and you would hear a disembodied voice go, "Hi, John."
Yeah.
It happened so much it became a running joke between me and David.
That happened with me and you when we went to do the cemetery in San
Yeah.
Antonio.
Remember the first time we did that cemetery in San Antonio? We heard the woman crying and we tried to find her
Yes.
for about a half hour and couldn't find her.
Yeah. And then
That
that
was that was spooky.
and then that one that we went to that one well, it was, what do you call it, like a little mausoleum or in
Yeah,
the tomb, and we did the spirit box session there, and you asked the question, you said if you want us to leave, we'll leave, and
yeah,
the lights went off and we was like, okay, time to go.
yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
So we actually had some fun because I always tell people I'm not a paranormal investigator, but John was. He was. It was true to his word too. Uh, that's why I want y'all to go by check out his videos. He don't fake nothing. He does not, and I'm a witness to it because I've worked with him, and it was just great having him with me. And that's why I'm glad that he's doing storm chasing, because he knows that the two can coincide. But I agree with him at the same time because of all the bad stuff that he was going through, all the drama though also that he was going through. Uh,
Yeah.
he had to shelf it, and
Yeah,
so
I took an indefinite break from it just because it was bringing a lot of the people that I thought were friends, and it almost like it tried to make enemies out of my friends. And like it was trying to what it was trying to do, it was trying to separate me from the things that I loved.
uh,
And it was trying to bring me to a point of deep isolation and despair and depression. I mean, it was I fully believe whatever energy was there was trying to take over me. Like there was a dark, dark, dark force that I can't even begin to tell you how badly affected. It almost drove me to the point of taking my own life. Like that's how bad it got.
I believe it. And Spirit Stalker said she stayed at the Emily Morgan Hotel in San Antonio, and
Okay.
she heard a woman screaming at 3 a.m. and didn't see anyone. Now, question: if she was screaming at 3 a.m., is it because she was getting some, or I'm just saying, you got to remember you're in a hotel because hoes don't tell.
Oh god.
That's why they call them hotels. And she
Oh,
might have
geez.
been getting a little something, something at 3 in the morning.
Every time the ghost experience that you're mentioning happened, like in Scary Movie 2, and oh my god. And I
I
don't know
believe,
why that moment just brought me to Scary Movie 2 with that weird scene. Like, oh my goodness.
Yvonne, I believe you. I honestly believe you, especially Emily Morgan, because downstairs in the basement of it, that used to be a morgue.
Yeah.
You can't
So,
access it though. They won't let you
That
down there.
building was a medical arts facility for the college in San Antonio back in the day, and
mhm.
they literally had a morgue and a crematory upstairs.
Right, right. I was reading on that. You're right. So yeah, that's crazy. And of course, I put on my TikTok videos of when me and John went and investigated. So make
Yeah,
sure you go.
the the part where they're doing it on the ceiling and the ghost gets confused because her underwear reads Wednesday and it's Friday.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we've done that. We went to Women's Hollering Creek. Remember
Yeah.
that? So we went
That
out.
was and we weren't even at the right location the first
Right,
time.
and we were still getting stuff.
We were getting we had like twigs snapping behind us. We had like some and it wasn't birds or anything. Like it was like sounded like people stepping behind us. We were getting
Right.
like clear and distinct class B like type EVPs that were like
Yeah,
even some class A's too, and some really nasty growls and stuff, and it was
and there
weird.
was nobody behind us.
Oh no,
Hey,
we were alone in that spot.
Chris the Fam, thank you so much for coming in. Let me acknowledge you.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, and so every time I went out with John, we always had some crazy stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
It's like he was he's the opposite of being a chick magnet. He was a spirit magnet.
Yeah, like I don't know why, like that's part of like why the paranormal gets so intense for me is because like I it feels like I just draw all that energy in towards me without even noticing that I'm doing it.
Hmm.
And it becomes very overwhelming very quick. And there was a time what in 2022 when I was with Gary and all those people, we did 14 of those investigations in 12 days. Or, well, no, we did 14 investigations in 14 days.
Wow,
And I remember I came back to San Antonio. I had like no fucking energy.
I believe
I
it.
was I was wiped out.
Yeah, I used to every time you came back, you would come as soon as you come in the house and sat on the couch, you was knocked out.
Yeah.
I can,
Colleen said, "John, you're looking pretty good, my man." Yeah, I got a haircut finally.
He got a haircut, and Spirit Stalker said my sister got attacked in her sleep that night. Really?
Yeah.
Was y'all at the Emily Morgan? See, Yvonne, this is why I said I need to get you up here and interview you. Now, Spirit Stalker, she used to have a YouTube channel. I don't know if she has it
She
anymore,
does.
but she's investigated with us. So if you go on her channel, you will see Spirit Stalker on a few of our videos. Then you'll see who she is. She has a box like Lou Rock that she uses, and gotta go by show Spirit Stalker some love. If you still have your channel up, I love Spirit Stalker, and I wish we could do more stuff together. I really do.
Oh,
She
Yes,
won't
she
go.
won't go anymore. Mama Nature
I
just
think
said, so Eddie, you were bringing the crazy.
I still
No,
think one of the most wild experiences I had in the paranormal was that 2 nights in Waverly.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
pretty unreal. Um, Now, the other place that made Waverly look like a kindergarten was the house I filmed the documentary in. That house in Georgia. Oh my God, that place
Mhm.
was no joke. It was nonstop activity day and night. You get like a couple of like restful moments, but sleeping in that house sometimes was rough. I
Oh, I
mean,
believe.
you would literally have stuff like whisper scream in your ear at night. And it actually infected the producer's wife so bad she had to get a hotel one of the nights because it
Really?
was pounding her. Yeah.
Wow. Fighting Spirit, thank you so much for being here. Long time no see.
Acknowledge me.
And Tales Told in the Dark. So good to see you here.
Acknowledge
And
me.
of course, if y'all didn't know that, is Cassie.
Oh, what's up, Cassie?
The cost of living.
Oh, I said
That's what's up.
Cassie, not costly.
Well, what's up, Costly? Yeah, we love Cassie. We just don't see her that much anymore. We love you, Cassie. And Fighting Spirit, we miss you too, man. We really do.
Good to see you, fighting spirit.
We didn't have to do it. Hey, like what was the name Vampiro used to say? We didn't have to, but we did.
Like another great location was the uh Good Springs Hotel or the Good Springs saloon in Good Springs, Nevada, just north of Vegas. That had a lot of activity. It was another location. The old Good Springs Hotel, right? Or no? It's on my paranormal channel.
Well, ask John.
Oh
Well,
Jesus!
because you looked over at yourself and said, like
I'm
you
trying to
talk.
remember what that place was called. Oh, it's called the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that
The jail.
that place was amazing. Like the EVPs were like almost all Class A.
Mm-hmm.
Another place was the Old Park Hotel in Bellinger, Texas. That place was insane. We were getting EVPs, Class A EVPs responded to us in Spanish, which was
How
crazy.
about the one you did with Lou Rock?
Uh,
Which
I
is
did
one of the reasons why Lou Rock
I did a
stopped
couple
doing
of
paranormal.
trips with Lou Rock. We did the place in South Carolina. That place to me wasn't super crazy haunted. That place felt more residual. Now, St. Augustine was a different
That's
That's it, St.
situation.
that's it.
Augustine.
Because to this day now, Lou Rock don't do paranormal.
Yeah, yeah, that experience really fucked him up, and it was a really odd experience. Like he seemed totally possessed. Like it wasn't his normal self. Like Lou Lou wasn't there for that moment, if that
Right.
makes sense. And I helped him walk him through it. I actually had brought out a Bible and was talking with him. trying to get him out of it. Finally, he snapped out of it, but it scared the shit out of
Yeah, yeah.
him.
Because to this day, as a matter of fact, now he basically talks about cannabis.
I remember John when he
John,
first
when he first
came
came to YouTube
to
as, I
uh,
remember HSFL.
yeah, HSFL was my original channel. Well, I mean that would I mean I just rebranded it to John the Paranormal Guy.
Right.
Um, and that channel still exists.
Oh yeah, that channel's still up. I still recommend people to go to that channel. Cause you, and every now and then Irish Risky comes in. I'm shocked he's not here yet.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Greg in some time.
Yeah, he came last Sunday and Sunday before last.
Have a good night,
Hey
Mike.
Mike, go by check out Drina and Mike's Paranormal Adventures if you guys haven't. As a matter of fact, I'll leave a link to their channel at the end of this, so that you can look in the comments below. Go by and check out Drina and Mike. Do me a favor, babe. Get Drina and Mike's channel. I'm gonna put Drina and Mike's channel in here, and or Jen's gonna do it. Make
I
sure you go
talked
by.
to I talked to Ray the Fam a couple of months ago. He's doing
Yeah,
good.
we talked to him a couple months ago too. Chris was just here, Chris the fam.
Yeah.
Reverend Randy Wagner, so good to see you here, sir.
Acknowledge me.
And there's the channel for Drino and Mike. Go by, check them out, show them some love. Tell them that Eddie and Jen sent you, and you'll like what they got. And they also work with Joe. So if you remember Joe from Urban Ghost, Urban Explorations, they've also done work with him too. So go by, check them out.
Hey John, are we in Wisconsin gonna get warmer than today? I haven't even looked at the uh,
And you know John is right there at his weather map.
oh,
And even
100%. Like if you look at my TV right now, I've got my weather forecasting software up and running.
I can tell because you're looking right at it. John lives and breathes nothing but weather. Even
Yeah.
when he was here, that's all he looked at was the weather map.
Oh yeah. I'm like, see you guys, I'm heading out. And then all of a sudden you're like, are you on a tornado right now? Like, yeah.
Yes, and I'm telling you, that's how he did. That's John. Well, I'm happy the fact that John found his passion.
Yeah.
That's what we're happy about. It made this
Yeah.
boys first, but they're getting adjusted, because you had to do what you had to do.
Exactly.
He Fighting Spirit asks if Cab 7 is still
Yes,
down.
he does
Yes,
D-Live
he
more.
does D Live basically now. So if you go to D Live and look up Cab 7 Ben, you'll see him there. We have nothing but love for Cab 7.
He
And
does YouTube once in a
he
while.
does YouTube once in a while, and we'll stop over there in D Live too. We had a D Live channel at one time, but when
Yeah, I
all the
used to
drama
have
started
D-Live
hitting,
too.
yeah, when all the drama started hitting though, we just left. We
Yeah.
abandoned it. Because we're not a drama channel. We're not about talking about this person and that person. We want to bring happiness and love, not sad depression and negativity. So we're the total opposite of all that.
Yeah. I mean,
So
like if you go to my channel, like most of my channel now with like the storm chasing, I'm gonna actually start. I'm almost thinking about starting to interview storm chasers on my page, other chaser friends of mine, potentially. I haven't really gotten into that, but I'm gonna start almost like eventually when I get my schedule fixed and stuff. I'm gonna try to start doing like weekly like forecast streams and stuff like that, as well as incorporating putting out and like reviewing some of the past chases kind of streams. Um or just
yeah,
like kind of talk about like weather in general. Like
yeah.
I'm,
Reverend
I'm
Randy asked me, did I get his message on Facebook telling who he was? You know what? I really don't go on Facebook that much. I have a monitor that does it for me. But what I'll do is I'll go by and possibly you might have to resend the message if there is a message on there. because my daughter is my monitor for the Facebook pages that I have. So yeah, our daughter is basically a monitor of that.
Cool. Uh,
But I'm
let's
sorry, what was that, John?
Oh no, I was reading the comments. Spirit Talker said, "Yes, good to see John happy and at peace." I appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel pretty happy. I mean, I just moved into my own place about a year ago. It's crazy. It's been a year since I've lived in this
I
house.
know. And you know what else? It's almost hard to believe. It's almost been a year now that Ghost Mafia has been gone.
Oh wow.
The 30th of this month will make 1 year.
Yeah, because I moved into this house just after he had passed.
Yep. As a matter of fact, we know exactly what day you left here, February 22nd.
Yeah, February 22nd, and then 4 days after I moved up here, we had one of the world's worst wildfires in Texas history.
Yep, I remember you recording it.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
I had a very close call trying to get the warnings out because I was putting myself in danger. I had the flames 50 feet from my car coming at me at 70 miles an hour.
Mhm.
That's We're supposed to get winds like that again like next week, like 70, 80 mile per hour winds, which I'm not looking forward to.
Because it was crazy. We got that cold front down here, even though we didn't get what y'all had. Because it was funny. One day it was 86 degrees, and then
Yeah,
the next minute it's 64 degrees.
yeah, yeah. We went from 70 to full on snow all day yesterday.
I believe it. We was watching it.
I was
That
like, what the hell? Again? Really? I'm so sick of we've had 20 plus inches of snow so far this year, which has been like pretty strong for this area for like the
Mm.
past 10 years.
Boomer said, "Hey, thanks again, Ed, Jen, and then some for joking my panel. Got to rack out." I think you meant joining your panel.
Yeah, and screw you too, Bober. I was there.
Boomer, hey, I don't mind it at all. It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me up. I really do
Have,
appreciate it. Make sure you go
have
by
a
check
good
Boomer
night.
D. Everybody, if you haven't, go by and check out Boomer D. I want to get him up to at least 200. He's been in the
Thank you.
80s too long. He's at 89. And put it like this, I've known Boomer now for about 8 years,
Yeah.
and he's still in double digits. So I want to get him up to at least 200. So go by, check out Boomer D, show him some love. As a matter of fact, Boomer, put your link in the chat so that they can come by and check your chat out.
You're the and then some. That
Oh,
was good. That was good.
that's why he said that too when he was on there today. He was like, "You're the end in some."
Oh,
Son, for how many years has he come on?
I know, right?
I'll show you and then some.
Time to take your pill, sweetheart. Your alarm's going off. So what you got planned coming up?
I'm a kind of a spur of the moment kind of a guy, so plans aren't really the only thing I plan is within like 4 days of locating a chase. If I can somehow make it on time that I have available, I'll chase it. Um, but
Do, do you have a trailer for your
yeah,
you want to show your trailer?
um, I'm on my phone,
You on
so
your phone?
let me see if how I could do this. Share.
Thank you,
Okay,
Christine.
it says only the host can share.
Oh, wait a minute.
Um,
Hold on. Let me see then. Uh, okay, first of all, let me go to your channel and
you might be able to drag it in better than I could.
So let me go here. Because that I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go to your channel and then I'm gonna, as long as I have your permission to
You have my permission.
okay, there. What are you standing behind me? You like
Oh, nothing. I just,
I don't know about
I
you.
do wanna say congratulations to John for getting a new job and good luck in you, good luck doing storm chasing.
I'm
Of the
looking
year.
for, I was hoping
I'm
that you
waiting
had,
on you,
okay,
John,
here.
and wish
I
you
guess I
stay
can go with the
in
shorts.
life. Good luck feeding home, man.
So give me a couple seconds. I wanna showcase his channel because I was looking for a trailer.
Yeah. Eddie, you have full permission to show my trailer, just so YouTube has a record of that.
I appreciate that. So let's find a good trailer here because you got so many good ones. I'm gonna show this one from 2024. So what I'm gonna do is let me hit this
Yeah,
and
the channel trailer should be on the front of the page.
now let me pause it. Now I'm gonna screen share this. Okay, so go to huh?
And a lot of the tornadoes that I chase are usually live. So if I'm live streaming and they're I should say a lot of the tornadoes you see in this video, I'm usually live. So you can catch me on live streams and you'll probably see some crazy stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to show this and maybe do this.
So yeah.
Okay.
So that image of that car, that's my storm chasing vehicle that I chase with the news.
Okay.
That is my personal vehicle.
You turn the volume on.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't have the volume up.
Down at the bottom where it says it's muted.
Oh, my bad.
Thank you so much for joining the chase with us every season, and I hope you enjoy the new 2024 chapter. Man, I dressed all fancy and shit for this.
It's okay.
This is currently some.
My bad.
So yeah, there's my channel trailer, y'all. Make sure to go check it out. Have you driven into a tornado yet? Funny you say that. Dot dot dot. Um, I've unintentionally have gotten hit by two. One in 2022, that day I chased north of Dallas. I ended up getting hit by a tornado as it came through the trees. It was moving at 60 miles per hour. I recorded over 110-mile-an-hour winds off the anemometer on the top of my car. The second one was on June 15th, 2023, and I ended up getting hit by the tornadoes that developed right on top of us. It happened so fast we didn't recognize what was happening.
Wow.
And
I
that
didn't.
was the start of the Loco EF2 tornado that hit Loco, Oklahoma.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Andrew and Gnome's Trucking Express.
Acknowledge me.
I almost got hit last year. I got missed by that tornado by 50 feet.
Really?
Yeah. Right
Wow.
as I shut my live stream off, just after I shut my live stream off, I was just burned out on chasing. I had been on the road for 12 hours, like close to 12 hours that day. I shut my live off because I didn't think anything else was going to happen.
Mhm.
And came nighttime, that storm went nuts and just started dropping tornadoes everywhere. And right as I came into Norman, Oklahoma, the tornado blasted in the road right in front of me and ended up hitting the lady in front of me's car, blowing her windows out.
Really?
Oh no.
Yeah. I
That.
almost hydroplaned like 10 times because remember I had bad tires at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That storm, I was stuck in that storm for 145 miles and I was just done. And lo and behold, I ended up having that tornado. She was okay. Her face got cut up pretty good. Her car was totaled. Like, I mean, almost every window, I think, except for two, got blown out.
God, how
And
are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Eh,
Kelly and Elizabeth, thank you for being here.
Acknowledge me.
And Andrew had and well, actually, Andrew said one tornado hit a parked Union Pacific freight train, blew out the windows on the other outside. One hit a truck driving through Lincoln. One hit another farm in Waverly.
oh,
Holy,
was that last year with the Omaha tornado? That thing was massive. The tornado that hit Lincoln and then the tornado that hit in Omaha that day were huge.
And he also said the lady was trying to get, I guess,
outrun it.
outrun it on a John Deere doing 22 miles an hour. Another
Oh,
tornado hit Elkhorn and
yep.
surrounding area of Omaha.
Yeah, that was the Elkhorn tornado. I believe that was rated a high-end EF3, if not a low-end EF4. But it was like at one point like a mile and a half wide, or a mile and 1.2 miles wide.
Hello, Mickey G.
Acknowledge me.
It
Andrew,
devastated the houses, those well-built homes in Elkhorn too, which was crazy.
he also said I was in Grand Island at the Bigfoot conference at the fairgrounds
Oh
When it
wow,
hit.
when it hit.
Oh,
jeez.
so it barely missed him.
Yeah, barely. He worked out of Lincoln at the big trucking outfit across from Shoemakers. Oh, Schumacher's, that would be.
Jeez,
Dang.
Yeah.
that's gotta be scary.
I'm hoping that everybody hit that like button. I really do appreciate it if you did. Sorry, I had to bring that up. But have you had any other crazy experiences while you were storm chasing?
Trying to think. As far as last year, uh, I don't know. Last year, Oklahoma was really weird setups. Like, I mean, the year before I got 23 tornadoes on camera or saw 23 tornadoes. Most of them were on camera. 2024, I got around, I think I got 17 for the year. Um, as far as like crazy things that have happened, um, not nothing too wild, other than just like kind of oh crap, I got to escape from my life kind of deal. Like I'm kind of in a bad situation. Um, not sure if you remember, but you did a banner for me in my other channel. Oh, okay. Rev, that must have been a while ago, but that's awesome.
Andrew also said, actually, Mama of an Angel said the one that hit Elkhorn went right past her brother-in-law's home.
Wow.
Ooh, they are
Yeah,
still recovering. God bless.
yeah, they're gonna be recovering for a while. Those were well-built homes that that thing took out. Like, I mean, it shredded them. It went right through a residential neighborhood.
Wow. And if anybody has a question for John, please put it in the chat and we will ask him. You know, whether it's a paranormal or the storm chasing. We will answer your questions for you to the best we can. Andrew said, yeah, you can see it in the sky around the fairgrounds forming, but it missed us by God's good grace. And you're right, because God wasn't ready for you yet. So,
Like, I think one of the craziest moments was February 26th of 2023 when I did that derecho in Oklahoma. Remember that really bad storm that ripped through Oklahoma a
yeah,
couple
dude.
years ago? That one we got missed by a tornado by I want to say an eighth of a mile. Like it fucking almost hit us. And this is in the dark. And the only reason we saw it is because it was captured on my buddy's dash cam. You couldn't even see that tornado right next to us. That's how rain wrapped and surrounded and golf ball size hail that thing had. And so when the tornado passed us, we recorded 90-mile-an-hour winds. On
Right.
the backside with the derecho, we picked up 110 off of his anemometer in the back. And it
Damn.
was pushing his truck like almost sideways.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was scary.
Kelly says, have you ever got hurt?
By hail, yeah, a couple of times. That's just my dumbass fault for rolling down the window in the middle of the hailstorm trying to film it.
Mm.
I had a golf ball size hail fly through the window and hit me right in the shin. Somehow missed my entire body and slammed me right on the bone.
Wow. Mama of Angel, Angel said, if you're ever in Nebraska, look her up.
All right, sounds good. I definitely will. I'm hoping to get to Nebraska this year to chase. Because I think June is going to be really good up in Nebraska this year, probably Colorado, Wyoming, and stuff like that.
All right, so you're gonna actually go out this time? Go besides Texas and besides Oklahoma? You're
Yeah,
gonna
I think because like southeastern Colorado is only 3 hours away from me, so I'm most likely gonna do Colorado if you get a big setup this year. Um, as far as I'm gonna try to shoot up to Nebraska because the last couple of years Nebraska's been really crazy, and I've missed those days because I couldn't because of work. But I'm trying to work my schedule around right now where I'm switching more out of full time for tornado season into a part time, and then just accompany that with Uber and DoorDash to cover up those days that I'm not working, so I can chase more. Um, I'm trying
I just
to. Oh
now,
yeah, RPI investigations. Gotcha. I know who you are now.
yeah, yeah, and I'm just realizing now, Reverend Randy is RPI paranormal. Um,
Gotcha.
brain part. I did not
Um,
even.
back in 2016, I punched through a storm that had a 1.3 mile wide tornado on it, and it blew my windows out with softball size hail. I got cut up from that one too.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the glass sprayed in my face and everything. Thankfully, I was wearing sunglasses at the time, but it blew out my sunroof, my windshield, my back window, and two of my side windows. I had like three windows left. I had like $4,000 worth of damage to my car.
Hey, the mail show. Melissa is in the house. I got to acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
And
I
everybody
left.
out you send some prayers out to Melissa because her uncle is having some medical issues, and we have nothing but love for your uncle, and we're sending lots of prayers to you. I'm hoping that he has a speedy recovery. We really do. So we're sending some love your way, Melissa. God bless your uncle, and God bless your whole family. We love you guys, and thank you so much for being here. What was you gonna say, John?
I was just gonna say, big prayers, Melissa.
Yeah, big
Um,
prayer. And we mean
yeah,
that to the utmost.
yeah, that storm in 2016 made me not punch through those storms like that. I
I
learned some valuable lessons.
I know you did because I like what you do, and what you do. I remember we sat here actually when we was living at the other place, and I said, I wouldn't mind doing investigating while storm chasing,
Yeah.
you know, and
You know,
but
you know where you guys should go check out the Gerald Memorial. The
I've been wanting to do that and do a story about the family that lived there that lost their
there
life.
there was 27 people in the Double Creek subdivision that died that day.
Yeah, one was a whole family,
Yeah.
and that's the
That
one I
I mean,
story on.
anybody who didn't leave that neighborhood died. That tornado was too strong to survive above ground, which is a scary thought. So basically, what ended up happening with that tornado is it sat on top of that neighborhood for 3 to 5 minutes with winds gusting over 260. It was
Wow.
unsurvivable.
Man, and my heart goes out to anyone that's been, in a tornado or in a situation like that. Uh, God bless you, and thank God that you're still here, because that goes to show that he's not ready for you yet. He's got other plans. But to
Like
those
that, to this day, like even looking at the dynamics of how that tornado formed, it should never have formed that strong.
right.
That day was truly like one of those oopsie accidents that fucking happened in the atmosphere. And
Hmm.
it was the perfect mix of if something could go wrong, it will go wrong. And I mean, the dynamics of there was no way to even forecast for how violent those tornadoes were going to be.
Right. Misty
And what a lot
Mountain,
of
Susan?
Acknowledge me.
No, go ahead. A lot of.
a lot of the and a lot of people don't know that that day there was actually another two tornadoes in Austin Metro that happened. One killing a elderly woman in the town of Lakeway. That tornado was rated EF4, and another one went right through Cedar Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like Melissa's answer to that.
Melissa's answer was Mother Nature is mad or the government is trying to wipe out our places. And you know what? The way this world's going, it might be a little bit of both, Melissa.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Especially last year with that hurricane, and oh my God, that hurricane that did all that damage in North Carolina. I
Hmm.
felt so freaking bad because I love that area of North Carolina, Asheville, the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. Those people absolutely did not deserve what happened to them, and
No,
it
they
was
didn't.
super atrocious how the government treated that situation.
I agree with you.
Um,
Hey,
the
Fallen
other
Angel.
problem, the other place was Florida because when Hurricane Milton rolled through Florida this past year, you not only had that hurricane hit, but you also had 100 tornadoes land before the hurricane hit, knocking power and emergency services out to a lot of those areas.
Yes, yes. And as a matter of fact, that situation is going to be happening again soon, possibly if Canada has their way. There's a few states here that will not be having electric, and it won't be because of Mother Nature. It'll be because Canada decided to cut it off. But
Right.
that's another situation, and that
And
I'm
that,
not going to get
uh,
political on that, but I just had to get that out.
oh yeah, that tornado that ripped through the Dollar Tree distribution. That was God, was that Marietta? Well, there was the April 27th outbreak, and you had multiple cities get nailed by some very violent tornadoes. You had Sulphur get hit by a high-end EF3, borderline EF4 that night, wiped out over 500 homes and a ton of businesses. Then you had Ardmore, that Ardmore, Oklahoma got slammed. Then you had Marietta got slammed by an EF4 that night, which I think is the one he's talking about with the Dollar
Mhm.
Tree. And then you had Valley Brook that struck in the middle of the night, wiped out an entire gas station right off the
Mm.
highway just north of Dallas, and ended up killing a bunch of people. Actually, one of my storm chaser friends was in the cold storage of that gas station as it hit. His video is insane. Like, it gives
Wow.
me panic attacks. I had to turn it off the first time because like it gave me like storm PTSD. Like I was just like,
I
oh
bet it
boy.
did. Melissa says
Because you
shit
never
about
want
to
to
get
hear
crazy.
a building being twisted like that.
Yes. And Melissa says shit about to get crazy. It is big time.
Yeah.
And it's not because of Mother Nature. Andrew said, howdy, Eddie and Jen. Jen from Eddie and Jen. She said, hello.
Colleen brought up a guy named Carl Young. There was three storm chasers that had a TV show back in the day. Well, it was the one that Reed Timmer was on called Storm Chasers.
I
There was a
remember.
team called Twist X that was Paul Samaras, it was Tim Samaras and Carl Young and another one of their meteorologists. Well, in 2013, they were trying to gather data from the world's largest tornado in El Reno, Oklahoma, and they got
Mm.
overrun by that tornado as they were trying to escape, and it ended up killing all three of them.
Yeah, I remember that too. And that was so sad. Wasn't one of them a father and son?
Yeah, that was Paul and Tim Samaras. Yeah,
Yeah. I remember that. And that was
I
so
go to their
sad.
I go to their memorial. I actually met him a week before he died. That was
Wow.
my very first chasing ever was in 2013. That was actually just shy of me getting in that car accident in 2013.
Yeah, man, that I remember when that happened too. And I remember they were talking about it on the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
because
just hard. That was
the Weather Channel team almost died too that day. Mike Bettis
yeah, I
on the Weather
remember.
Channel, they got hit by
Yes.
that tornado and it flipped their car 150 yards off the side of the highway and crushed their Suburban.
Randy, you have a good night, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by. And one day I want to get you up here, Randy. Would like to get you up here and talk about your channel too. Just let us know when. And I like to say, and the same thing to the Mel Show. Melissa, I'd like to get you up here one day and talk about your channel and talk about you and what's going on in your life. But thank you, Randy. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, man. But yeah, my heart went out to those storm chasers when that happened. I remember that. Um, and I
Yeah,
still,
it hit the weather community extremely hard. But a lot of people loved him. Like they were great people.
hmm yeah, and the same with like Tim Reed
Yeah.
or Reed Timmer. I
Yeah,
keep getting
Reed Timmer was devastated because they worked together a lot on that show.
yeah, Reed Timmer. That's a hell of a storm chaser right there, Reed Timmer.
I see him all the time. He's just another storm chaser to me.
I know with the Dominator.
Yeah,
That's a badass truck, man, that he
yeah.
uses. That
Seven
is a
hundred and
badass truck.
$90,000 storm vehicle. Thing that thing's
Wow.
insane when you see it on the road.
So you think you're gonna go like let's say further east? Like maybe going toward like
I
maybe
I think if
Indiana?
I can I well if I can get the days off, um I'm gonna try to get towards like Iowa, Illinois, if I can. I'm just
Mhm.
not sure if I'll be able to. They have really strong restrictions for like I would have to completely take out like all of the emergency lights out of my car and stuff that I'm allowed to
Right.
here in Texas. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, because they gotta be like amber. Like, you
yeah,
know,
Reed Timmer had a guy, his chasing partner Joel passed away a couple of years ago.
mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, you're right. So you got anything coming up in the future at all?
I mean, storm season's not about to start knocking, so um, it's just kind of like I'll post on X and Facebook my thoughts on storm events coming up, if I can chase it or
Mhm.
not, and where I think the best chance of seeing a tornado. Um, but yeah, like I usually keep my my X my Twitter X is very active. Like if you guys follow me, I'm always posting photography. I'm always posting where I'm going. I do a couple little travel vlogs on X. Um,
And you're a damn good photographer too, by the way.
I
You
appreciate
are a
that.
damn good photographer. Y'all need to
Um,
really go by check out some of his photography also on his Facebook page.
yeah,
Go by and check out the Storm Chaser guy on Facebook and look at
I
his
need
photography.
yeah, check out the storm chasing guy group on Facebook. That's I do share a lot of my stuff there. I need to update that actually. Thanks for reminding me. But most of like my current stuff about like severe weather is going to be on both YouTube. If I'm chasing, I have my little where I can posts and stuff. Um, like the community section. I'm constantly updating that with latest information on severe setups. And I usually update like, hey, I think this area has the highest chance of having a tornado within a 50-mile radius, and I'll go into depth in my writings and stuff like that.
Diane G says, "Hi, I'm back. I had to take a phone call. John, what station is that you do storm reports for? ABC New Mexico? That is really cool for you."
I storm chase for News Channel 10 in Amarillo. I cover from Clovis, New Mexico, all of the Texas Panhandle down towards Lubbock, all the way up through the Oklahoma Panhandle and even southwestern Kansas.
Andrew said, well, actually, I think he was talking to Mama and Angel. I had a close encounter with a drunk driver going the wrong way on 80 in Lexington, Nebraska. I was going eastbound heading for Omaha. The guy who flew past me at 100 miles an hour. Wow.
Hey, remember what was it last year? Was it last year? No, I think it was 2023. Remember I was on the phone with you coming back down from Austin from that storm chase, and I
Yeah.
got tapped by that drunk guy.
Yeah, I do remember
He,
that.
he hit me with his horse trailer going like 70 miles an hour and tapped the back of my car, just
It's at the back
completely.
of your car. Yep. I do
Yeah,
remember that. That
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 was scary, bro. Because I had to pull over. I was having a fucking panic attack.
He shouldn't have been riding that close to you in the first place. Talk about riding dirty.
Oh
Uh, th-
well, I tried to pass him, and he swung his horse trailer into my car.
yeah, see, that was stupid. That was just he should not even been on the road. But then again, a drunk driver always feel that they should be on the road.
He didn't even have a license when the cops tried to talk to him. He didn't even have a license.
Have a
But
good night, Christine.
Christine, have a
Uh,
good night. Christina.
yeah, I know. I was chewing.
Because like it gave me flashbacks to my accident in 2013 when I got hit by that drunk driver,
Mhm.
and that's what set me off. And I was like, I'm done for the night. I'm done. I'm just trying to get home.
And Diane agreed and said he really is a fantastic photographer. Yes, he is great for photography skills. My hat's off. So
I appreciate that.
I want to thank everybody in here so much for coming in. I really do appreciate you guys. So you know what? I need to give y'all a nice round of applause because I appreciate the fact that y'all came in. I really do. You know what? I got to do that again because I did not have my screen share on. So let me do that
One of
again.
the
Here's a
worst places for drunk driving, in my opinion, is in Central California near the college. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Central California.
Yeah, on Highway 101 in San Luis Obispo, where I was
Oh,
living.
I heard about Highway 101.
Yeah, there's a reason that stretch of highway is called Blood Alley.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
It,
is.
it gets back. People go at like over 100 miles an hour and they're wasted.
And like I said earlier, that's ridiculous. If you're gonna drink and drive,
Yeah.
please, by all means, drink Pepsi
Yeah.
or water.
Or in my case, go to Bucky's and get one of those orange sodas that they make.
Yeah, or you can do that. Go to
See, now I
Buc-ee's.
want to go to Bucky's. But I can't because it's like 45 minutes away from me.
Come up here, seriously.
So again, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank John, the paranormal. Well, I keep wanting to say the paranormal guy, John, the storm chasing guy. I want to give everybody in the chat another round of applause. Want to give a shout out to all my fams in YouTube, the YouTube community pages, the YouTube paranormal pages. Go by, check them out, like and subscribe to them. Also want to give a shout out to all my peeps here in YouTube, period. And there's so many of you know who you are. And so the ones that are in here, I'm going to say thank you, Diane, Colleen, Kelly, Mom of an Angel, I was going to say my own doggone wife. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Christina, she's probably gone by now. Diane, Colleen, thank you so much for being here. Fallen Angel, Susan, Misty Mountain, Boondocks Mojo, The Mel Show. Thank you guys. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I mean no disrespect to you. I appreciate you all so much for being here. And if you can't say anything nice about someone, please, by all means, don't say anything at all. And again,
Yeah,
I want
fuck that boomer guy. Just kidding.
right. And a shout out to Boomer D. Thank you, Boomer, for still listening. And again, shout out to my boy John, the storm chasing guy. I will have his links to both his channels on the bottom of this as soon as I start editing some of this out. Thanks, John, for coming in on such a short notice. And I want to thank you guys in the chat for coming in also. And
Hey,
hopefully,
thanks for having me, y'all, and thank you, Eddie and Jen, for inviting me up to your page. It's always good hanging out with y'all. I'll probably be on the phone with y'all shortly.
And then you gotta bring your butt down here eventually. Come
Yeah, you
visit
gotta
again.
I
come back.
do, because I still have some stuff I need to pick up in San Antonio.
Sure do. We got it sitting waiting for you. So again, thank you so much for coming in, John. Thank you, everybody in chat. And until next time,
Stay blessed.
stay blessed. Good night, everybody. See you next week, God's
Bye,
willing.
guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
You too.